We look at the past through the rose-tinted glasses of romantic novels, but the reality was like a strict correctional facility. There were practically no civilians. Everyone was assigned to departments. Everyone served the system. A passport was not an identification document of a free citizen, but the personal file of a soldier in a labor army, deployed to restore infrastructure after the Great Reset. At this moment, the most grandiose and cynical substitution of concepts in human history occurs. A living person, a creation of nature, is replaced by a legal fiction, a physical person, a paper duplicate. When you are issued a passport, or a birth certificate, which is its precursor, the state effectively creates your dead copy, a persona. This copy belongs to the system, and it is this copy that is burdened with debts, taxes, and obligations. You, as a living person of flesh and blood, may consider yourself free, but your passport avatar is the property of the crown, republic, or empire. This
Greetings, give thanks and praise to the mystic laws of the universe and its protective functions and forces in nature that guide our thoughts and our path in our ways that are lawful, correct, and positive. We do give thanks and praise. Now it's a happy deception and new year illusion. Why? Only because we're at the tail end of what has been happening before our time. But there was a dark age where the chronological order of time has been interrupted, interfered with, has been changed, where the living soul manifests as man or woman has been converted and usurped. Hence, you have only persons that can operate in the current political system that is extant. Hence, I shared a little information from a platform named Past Lives. You know, me always I go resonate with the set of information we bring honorable clarification. Yeah, man. Just in an effort to bring clarity to my colonized people. And because they are colonized, they find themselves limited in their intellectual pursuit and capacity. Yeah, why we say that? Because I probably only get a third of the story where truth may exist, but lies permeate and prevail. So this is why we always emphasize specificity. You won't be able to interact or interface or even try to deal with it aggregately, only because the documents that are in place dictate individual rights and freedoms, not collective citizenry. Not like that. Doesn't exist. So every man or woman will have to choose to make their own individual stand, whether they like it or not. Yeah. And that's where you're going to find the sovereign jurisdiction. Yeah, man. So it's a process, and there is no institution anywhere where I'm going to share this kind of esoteric clarity. We are presented as our own personal intellectual property. We're not going to keep it to ourselves. We don't mind, impart it to the earth naturally. So the ones that not choose to apply themselves to attain clarity, don't blame anybody, really. Do not blame me. I mean, demonstrate the minute knowledge what we acquire. We have demonstrated. We have demonstrated with clarity and validity. And not just a talk out here, but distinction that whole heap of ones out there listen here and there only to regurgitate, but totally lack comprehension, lack clarity, and far removed from foundation. Yeah, so there's no credibility, no authenticity. It's just, distraction out there. Most of them, again, done slide right back. Give them a piece of paper and say, read. Impossible. Now, if you want to lead, if you want to, first you apply yourself. Yeah, man. It's a labor for learning before you grow old. Learning is much better than silver and gold. And it is obvious silver and gold shall vanquish, but the accurate knowledge where you attain, it transcends with you. Yeah, man. So truth and nothing we need defense. Truth and nothing where you gotta try verify or even validate or even prove. Once it's expressed, it carries this amber hue like the sun. It does shine. Yeah, man. And if you don't believe it, then you can go try to verify it or validate it. But it's there. That's a truth function. And truth is like a seed planted in fertile ground. And if you even drop truth in an unfertile ground, it will take root. The uniqueness that with truth. Yeah, man. So that's how we align with that. That's why we express with information this kind of unique way, grassroots, authentic. Yeah, man. Through the self-application, we find ourselves, after we move through the adversity of fire, both literally and figuratively. Yeah, man. Now, when you move past that level and past that stage, you're supposed to, leave that area and move to the next level with clarity. So whenever you speak, it can be demonstrated. Yeah, man. It can be verified and validated. And that I got, let us express your credibility effortlessly. If you track back and forth with my body. If a man come to say something or to challenge something first, you have to be credible to put up any kind of rebuttal or challenge or even to refute. You cannot be clueless and just want to be a agitator or like the Moors and the Maroons, these organizations who call them agent saboteurs. Why? Because even when you present them with truth, them not want it, them can't access it, them are going to ignore it. Because their agenda is adversarial to truth, literally. This is why in the old time days people talk about the Edomites. Yeah, man, just like how them would talk about the Jacobites. Yeah, man, the line of Jacob. And then even the Israelite, but you know when them say Israelite, you have northern and southern area. Judah from the south would have been more, yeah, authentic. Usually the north always get invaded, pollute, and sell out, and corrupt, and mix, and then it just trickle away all the way to the south, and everything's spoiled. No different from the American continent, where the invading parasite encroach upon our hemisphere from the northern areas and work them way through. And the documentation is there as verifiable evidence. We don't make up a story. We just present the clarity. And this is where I elude the people because they are so distracted. This is why we just stay resolute in our pursuit of truth. We stay focused. We stay consistent. This is why we say freedom, freedominion, freedom in naturally. Yeah, man. Enough are the days where people are trying to impose their own agenda, their own opinion, their own philosophy or ideology upon the masses. Yeah, man, a man such as I said, fire burn to your core. Who are you? Yeah, man. We have a brain of our own. It works exceptionally well. We have access to the very same information that is readily available to the entire earth. I need not to be initiated in any colonial institution of learning called university in order to express myself with this specific clarity. I don't need that. This is what makes we free. This is what makes we sovereign. And we get to discover that sovereignty should be synonymous with solitude, should be synonymous with happy, really. Yeah, man. Got to be free, think about it. Yeah, just inhale and exhale and just meditate on that idea, just on the concept of being free. And then with your own level of education or knowledge or intelligence, just try to grasp or comprehend just that concept, freedom, and say, where in our life does it have anything to do with anything we're external? Really. It's all internal, it's all within. You have to find that peace within. That's when you can recognize the chaos without, literally. So anything we're going to disrupt your peace has to be chaotic in any form where it presents itself. Yeah, but if you're superficial, you'll never get it. This is why we say introspection, self-introspection. We talked about these things years ago. But most people ignore a lot of the information we share, all of the, forward full circle. This is, it is what it is. Yeah, man. When I say the most important asset where you have are your brain, your big head, who's that brain, that piece of organ, will create all kind of chemicals. That's what you would call the governing center. So there is no other asset more important than that area. Why? So when you remove that, that's it. But you can remove any other organ of the body and still exist, still function. So, it's just time reveal, yeah, man, the truth that we have been expressing from a step forward. This is why we said we remain consistent. What we might do is correct any error, but it not deviate from the goal, it not deviate from the purpose, it not deviate from what we are trying to do, from what we are trying to accomplish, from what we truly are express, which is freedom. Freedom in, freedom in. Where else? What other platform? Which other individual? That's all we are saying. If them not authentic, then we can't trust them. If them ever come and say them have a process where them learn from someone else, I can't trust it. Why? But I present I as that process. It's organic. Yeah, man. It's authentic. Yeah, man. And it's original. That beat everybody. Yeah, man. So again, it's always a step-by-step process. And many shall be called, but only the chosen. Yeah, them are gonna be the few. And again, it's never where we think it is, especially from the educational system that we have been exposed to. This Prussian form of educational system that has been imposed upon our hemispheric region of the earth by foreign invading conquerors, these Eurasians. That's the truth. Now, when you think of Pangea, just think of Tartaria. And when we said Tartaria, just like Pangea, then would say the concept of Pangea is when the earth was unified as one landmass wise. Now, Tartaria were then erased from history. For me, would be the concept of a unified earth with one unified frequency, with one unified, say, voice, put it that way. But type in Tartarian, we're not going to get too much of nothing outside of the esoteric platforms. I share esoteric information. We can only resonate with esoteric, ancient kind of bloodline. And resonate with the new hybrid type. They can't resonate with this truth. Impossible. How can they? You have a set of people where naturally have soul. And then you have others where are not, put it that way. You have ones where can trace them ancestral lineage to the 12th century, like the Dalits to the 12th century. Most only stop at the 17th century. Why is that? People now ask them questions, them just get caught in the middle of the ocean and play games with the effect, totally ignore the cause. This is why we say honorable clarification. Yeah, man. Philosophical reasoning. Most of our people, well, the imposters, the little agitators, they don't like philosophy. Anything with to deal with organic learning, it never interests agent saboteurs. Can't. How can it? Not going to interest them. So they might always say, oh, your opinion. Oh, you don't want no philosophy. And when them go in a court and I look upon them judge, what them worship, all the judge has is opinions. Judge not know law, judge not know judge have only opinions. But these unlearned ones will ostracize you quick on behalf of, yeah, their political rulers, guising themselves as politicians. Let me tear you up for these guys. Yeah, man, but not everybody them can be able to mess with and survive. Really? Yeah, man, you have some people where plant seed in that world, in that life, where the seed does subtly take root. And like how the tree grow with branches, that's how the very tree become that separating instrument for them world, literally. But them never can comprehend these things. If you don't have knowledge, yeah, you just not you're blind here in the dark. But the moment you get exposed to light, where you see truth, you have to carry and conduct yourself accordingly. You have to show respect always, and you have to have the option to reciprocate when one's choose to be disrespectful. You're not in an obligation to turn the other cheek. You're not well. I am no Christian because I'm not colonized. So I'm not inclined to turn no other cheek. Insanity. And I'm not insane. That's clarity. Yeah, man. Anyway, I just pass through a long time when I pass through, kind of full joy, beautiful discipline, beautiful meditation, and a beautiful order. Yeah, this level is so pristine, it kind of like it transform me. I'm gonna want, to scare nobody, really. Yeah, man, I see the muscles on my body just grow. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, man. I thought me that got bald because that must get old. Here, that's the wool upon my head just a fluff up on a, I'm like, you know, I'm not cut it. I'm just allow it and say, what? One. It looked like my thing, a reverse of my life. It did that. A discipline created. Yeah, man. And if I continue like this, my beautiful blonde, what me have on my head, what I'm called grey, look like it will turn black naturally. But I give thanks, 'cause again, yeah, man, when we're all out there, exist on this planet, you know, yeah, we can never be the same. You gotta have one we think a certain way. And them are gonna do that by choice. You gotta have a next set where not have that choice to even think. And then you gotta have the ones that were totally cognizant by their own application, by choosing to ask the right question. Them understand that their information shall be currency, literally. Yeah, man. Only because of their credibility, their validity. Not where some, politician or guru or group chat or social media are said. No, all of that at the factor area, at the illusionary area, that is. Yeah, man. So we rather stay with substance that, yeah, man, and move and function where substance is. And we can use the legal entity to interact and interface. It's really our personal property out there in the public domain. Yeah, man. And when I need no guru for come try tell me so they want to teach me. Thank you. But I'm good. My brain work fine and I'm in no rush to get nowhere. I need no association or assimilation with foreign people. No. Yeah, man. I won't come in your thing, come try like nothing from you. No, yeah, man. I know the agenda, whatever you teach about the fact of fuckery. Yeah, the finance is illusion and it's foreign. Yeah, there are basic rules that are in place. When all they do is that look at the rules, self-accordingly, express it however. Nothing to do with the guru. Sorry. Not interested. Yeah, man. Only because I'm sovereign. And my sovereignty now need no validation from the group, a social construct, now the social media, period. But I do have to give thanks, God. May I tell you, there is no substitute for peace of mind. Sometimes you learn these things the hard way, the hard way. There's no substitute for peace of mind. When you catch it, or, if for any reason at all, you may get distracted, put it that way, and forget what it felt like, what it is. It's when you ever retain back that mess, you're not interested in letting it go. For me personally, I will not substitute my peace of mind for absolutely nothing. I don't need $1 billion. You can keep it. I'll stay without that and cherish my peace of mind. Oh, now it's good for that's why I know I turn old man, but for some reason, old. But yeah, man, you have the clarity and the understanding of a man will live for about 160 years already. but me have the youthful physical structure of a 22, 23-year-old. Yeah, probably even more mature than that, but fit. Me I tell you, Friday, I'm gonna do a little easy jog. Boy, when me I pass 100-man police station, hear me to myself. And when me reach so far, I'm gonna feel, you know, me don't even feel tired. Me don't even want to blow hard. Yeah, man, me just a run and, you know, my breath rate is like me I walk. I'm like, wait, I start playing on mind. What me eat? What me do? What me I do different? How me feel so calm? I always a exercise, but every now and again, it's like you get a extra surge of energy. Like when me plan for just run up on the hill, it's like me I section the hill too short. Let me just go and jog. And you just, you know, I find myself I run come all the way to my location, right back. Normally, I would have to stop and wind down, get a good walk and come in and thing, but boy, I don't know, it feels so excellent. I have to hold myself, I have to hold myself to not go out there today. I made a plan for go ride, but I said, no matter thin out yourself. And I'm not gonna lie, when me rise this morning, I swear today on Tuesday. I couldn't believe me. I said, nah, I say it to nobody in the car. I don't want people to think I'm crazy, but I'm not gonna lie, I have to say it. I was clueless. Today is Saturday. I have today as Tuesday. Boy, me I tell you. Normally, I miss a 1 day or a 2 day, but I don't know where them other few days gone. When people are fancy up for all these things, I just make sure me have the basic in my house and I go to bed early. Yeah, man. I'm too when I sleep, I probably sleep for like a couple of hours, 2 or 3. So I'm up and do a little reading, so you know, I love look. Yeah, man. But me not get caught in them nonsense. When you move on a different frequency, it a got different from what the public out there, literally. The things that will fascinate the new people are them foreign citizenry. Usually they will impress me, literally. Sometimes most of those things is a turn off to me, really. And that means that me and a man like every other man. Just my perception probably is a little bit different from the ones. That's why I say it's an individual thing. It's a personal thing. The other day, me hear Capleton upon a little thing where I say, no, like individual and me have to say this, respect Capleton. I don't know what context you da make a statements from. So I'm not burn you by just saying that. Me no mind I bring my correction when I say the individual rights and freedom are there for individuals. It's not that for no Baba Shanti group. It's that for every individual of the Baba Shanti group. This is why my fire burn them gay rights and them feminine rights and them equal rights. No. You have fundamental rights and freedom apply to man and woman collectively, human. Now you have people who are inhuman, but they have the appearance of man and woman, but they're inhuman, not human. Sometimes you have to carry out the deep water. Yeah, man. Just like how we express the distinction between a man and a male. The man represents the living soul, while the male represents the persona of that soul. Yeah, the mask of that soul. All right. Just like how the man are the avatar, the living soul, the legal fiction, the persona, or the avatar. The birth certificate would be the avatar, or the legal fiction, that persona. And the birth certificate specifically, why? Because it is the bonding instrument that is presented on bonding paper in the form of an express trust, where the governmental authority places a registration on that instrument to gain interest. Yeah, man. And the very legal entities, what I'm calling name estate, then them attach what I'm calling the social security account or that social contract to it. Yeah, man, that's why I'm call the birth certificate a sophisticated financial instrument. Now listen, I talk a whole heap of things and it sound fragmented to the people who are not on this level. It will sound fragmented like I'm all over the place. But when you get clarity, you're going to realize that it's all connected. All right. The only distinction is it's in a de facto area. Yes, so you have to learn the lawful area of lawful capacity, separate and distinct from the legal area where they administer legal properties, put it that way. Now, when them say the avatar like a passport, like a driver's license, all of these things are the avatar. And them must say, boy, it is owned and ran by these foreign people and the government. No, I beg to differ. These government and these foreign people can't own absolutely nothing at all, because everything have to operate under contract. And once you become aware of this, everything have to be according to some kind of contractual arrangement or agreement, then you have to kind of start learning how to navigate out there. Do we have a contract? Present the contract. Let's discuss the contract. Only the parties of a contract can interact or discuss that contract. Only the parties. And if me I tell you that the legal entity is an express public trust, then the item have to do them due diligent. I don't make I tell you nothing. Don't make other people tell you nothing. It's an individual thing. Learn, apply yourself, learn, and express yourself accordingly. Yeah, man, attain credibility, attain validity, and express yourself accordingly. Anything else, that's nonsense, that's distraction, that's something people pussy or try purport themselves like them can read and write, but they can't. That's some little clown who want to hear themselves through TikTok and these social area. Is just that public platforms for public perspective and point of views and opinions. That's what it is. However, once you align yourself a certain kind of way, then certain information will naturally resonate with you, where you gravitate accordingly, and you will learn according to the structure of your biology, according to, your intent. Yeah. So you have to choose. And in a group, man, I say, hey, we're free and everybody free. No. I am sovereign. Now you can say what you want to be or who, whatever you, if me I tell you who I am. If you want to challenge what me I say, try it. If you want to refute, try it. Why? Me have the record for validating the distinction that from most others. Anyway, when I'm there for 5 or 10 minutes, sometimes I just talk and talk and talk, but yes, I work because it's philosophical reasoning. And when we get to talk on the YouTube, because we have times when for 4 or 5 hours out of the day when I get for really utter. Sometimes when I choose to. Yeah, man. So I give thanks when I kind of get to that level, when I not have to speak, when I not want to. Really. It's a beautiful thing. Different kind of sovereignty, different kind of freedom, and it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, stay bold and brave out there. Stay firm and strong and let this thing play just a little bit more so then I really hit me with no copyright. And that's it. Yeah, them can find them information and choose to apply themselves. We not impose nothing on no one. It's free will. Always free will. One of the best time for I, truly, in a very long time. And Jano, when I say it that way, that I might can say I feel away, because true, we have so much other experiences, but listen, it's like self-discovery. So it's beautiful. Think about it, self-discovery.
Legal magic was invented and perfected precisely in the mid-19th century. Napoleon's code, Speransky's reforms, and their counterparts around the world are not about human rights. They are about inventorying state property. And you became the property. Why should this provoke your rage, not just curiosity? Because we were deprived not only of freedom of movement, we were deprived of potential and time. There is a hypothesis that before the implementation of passport control and the change in dietary paradigm, imposing potatoes, yeast bread, and sugar, human biological resources were different. Look at biblical patriarchs or kings from Sumerian lists. Lifespans there are measured in centuries. Fairy tales? What if not? What if the passport system introduced an expiration date? The fixation of a birth date became a tool for programming decay. You are told, you are 60, you are old, and you believe it, and your body executes the command of society. But in archives from as early as the 18th century, strange records are found of people who lived for 150, 200 years. They were called elders. Where did they disappear? They were optimized. The system doesn't need long livers who remember the truth about the old world. It needs short-lived worker ants, generations changing so quickly that knowledge simply doesn't have time to pass from grandparents to grandchildren. Passports became the walls of a new prison for nations. They divided us with linguistic and national barriers. Before the 19th century, it seems, the world was much more homogeneous. There was a unified language of images or communication that allowed identical antique buildings to be constructed from St. Petersburg to Washington. The introduction of national passports was accompanied by the artificial creation and imposition of new literary languages. Grammars were written in the offices of scholars, invented by enlighteners. People were taught not to understand their neighbors. Me no understand you is the result of artificial segregation.
I hope they had a contemplate on the information, you know. Don't just make it fly over your heads.
The passport documented this division. You became strangers on your own planet. You were led to believe that enemies lived across the river, although genetically and culturally, you were one. This is a planetary scale betrayal. We have been locked in cages of national states, with keys handed to wardens whom we now call governments.
Now, for most of the people I'm out there, what see me I do my thing, and from 2018, I have a world passport. And my world passport was issued by the World Service Authority. Listen again. World service authority. Now, that world passport has no contractual obligation with absolutely no government, no foreign state, no foreign entity. That's what my world passport is. When I get the world passport, it was world passport and I'm have a world citizen passport. It was two documents. As them go along, I guess it was some kind, I don't know what's the difference, why them remove just the world passport and start with this world citizenship or I have no problem with that because as a world citizen, it still stipulates yeah, conform yourself with the treaty that is there, international treaty deriving from the United Nations Universal Declaration on Human Rights. So once you possess a world passport, as an Ahuuakh Indian, a part of my society, because me I advocate for this, me I bring the information, me I bring the clarity. So once you associate with me with a world passport, then it will put you in a diplomatic capacity. Why? Because you're going to have an affidavit where attached to that instrument where I demonstrate exactly the diplomatic capacity. My world passport and my international travel document. Yeah, man, my diplomatic document. That's what I use for travel. And it doesn't say me not have a Jamaica CARICOM passport will represent the legal avatar. The document derived from the birth registration form that is the legal entity. So my Jamaica passport represent that legal entity. If me have a Jamaica driver's license, it represent the legal entity. The legal entity is separate and distinct from I, the living man. Clarity. Wow. Clarity. Again, clarity. Now, I'm quite sure no one have an interest for trying to refute or rebut what me I present. What I'm trying to do is stay silent so them can learn. All of them create what them create in a the de facto capacity, the artificial area, the fictional area, the slave area, where them present themselves as persons, not as man or woman. This is the distinction. This is the separation. This is the clarity. Who else are presented this way? uh,
And the most outrageous part is that we continue to support this lie every day. We are proud of our passports, our citizenships, not understanding that we are proud of our inventory number in a global concentration camp. We pay fees to be allowed to exist. Think for a second. You pay a land tax on the land your house stands on. To whom? To the land? No. You pay the system for the rent of a piece of the planet that by birthright belongs to every living being. A passport is a sublease agreement that you didn't sign, but under which you are obligated to pay your entire life. It is bondage, skillfully disguised as a privilege. In the 19th century, when this noose was just tightening, people still resisted. There were cholera riots, which were actually riots against accounting and forced medicine. There were uprisings of the passportless. They were brutally suppressed. We were broken. We were taught to present documents on demand to anyone in uniform, trembling with fear that the paper might be expired. What are they hiding behind 7 seals in those closed Vatican archives and special library depositories?
I'll leave it right here. They are them choose to apply themselves freely and willingly or not all. Complete gratitude, free people. Salute, Deary and Clary. Honor, honor, honor. Yeah, man, you know my thing, yeah, the low profile. The interests are got scattered because everybody I learn, but ask them what them I learn, ask them what they can demonstrate, ask them for the clarity, and then ask them for their validity. And then you're going to say the truth are going to always stand naturally. Complete gratitude. Honor again. May the Most High guide and protect the item in all the item endeavors and in all the item ways. Yeah, man. Complete gratitude. Bliss out there.